I got it rolling.
Kill it. All right, so Dyson, why don't you tell these kids where you're from, kind of how you got into the sport of wrestling, where you are now, kind of what your goals are this year, and then I know you got goals for kind of the rest of your collegiate career, so take it down.
Yes, sir. So I'm originally from Haymarket, so just up the road. I started with Haymarket Hurricanes, and then I also trained with FCA. So Burns was my coach for a little bit. He beat up on me and cross-faced me, like I'm sure you guys know.
We all know that.
And then I didn't really get good until like my high school years, and then I started training. That's when I started training like FCA and getting beat up by Burns and stuff. And then I transferred. I went to Battlefield, then transferred to Benedictine, wrestled there down in Richmond, and that's where I won my state title for private school. And then now I'm at VMI. So I'm a SoCon placer and then a Division I national qualifier. So, you know,
Let's
it's
not
just
underestimate. Let's not understate the.
So D1 national qualifier, yeah. So where was your first tournament? At the D1, like where was the tournament? That's all.
Kansas City.
Kansas City, right? What was your experience at Kansas City?
So I got to wrestle Dayton Fix. I'm not sure if you guys know who Dayton Fix is.
Yeah.
But
Almost took him out.
yeah.
Almost took him out.
I did. A little bit of home cooking. Well,
Yeah,
I had pigtails. So
Oh.
I wrestled the Big Ten kid.
Oh, you had the
Todd
pigtails.
Brooks.
Yeah.
And I beat him. And then I had to wrestle.
So you won a match
I did win a
at
match
the NCAA tournament.
And then you got into the bracket.
Then I got into the bracket.
Yeah.
Wrestled Dayton Fix.
That's
it's
pretty
like,
huge.
Yeah.
that's
Just to win. There.
Oh
for
no,
sure.
I think I should have had him like twice,
Yeah.
but he
Yeah.
was able to convince the refs a little bit.
Okay.
So
yeah.
you think a little home cooking that
Yeah, a
Midwest?
little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think he would have won the match.
Yeah.
So that was
That's
last
pretty
year.
That was last year.
So tell me, what's been your biggest match this year?
This year, I dropped a few matches, all to like national qualifiers and ranked kids, but I'm starting to get back on the rails, and I actually avenged one of my losses early in the season against the App State kid, Chad Bellis, who just beat the Ungar kid from Cornell.
Yeah.
Unger.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. Pronounce his name.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But so then I beat him the week after he beat that kid, so
Yeah.
that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So what's the biggest grind as a Division I wrestler?
Every match is hard. Like you don't have like at the lower levels, even high school, like every kid you go against isn't going to be like the best. Like probably, especially in high school, you'll probably only have like 1/10 of your matches will be able to like compete with you, and then like after that, like once you get to college, everyone's able to beat you. Like no matter what. Like an unranked kid can beat a top ranked kid all the time. You see it all the time. It's because like it's really not how good you are, because everyone at that level is like the same level. It's just it's just a mentality thing. Like who wants to win in that moment? So like I encourage you, like especially when you guys get older, just to like make sure you're in the right mental space and you're like, I want to win, and I know I can beat these kids, because I mean obviously you guys are here training just a few days after Christmas. You guys know what you're doing, so it's just like you go out there and just beat kids up because you know you can. It's kind of like just know you can win.
One more question. So we've been we transitioned from doing like open tournament styles to only hunting like the Tyrant events, and so we're only doing like top end stuff. So we're doing Beast of the East, we're doing Ironman, we're doing Powerade, we're doing, and not everybody's ready for it yet.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think about going to that level early?
I think it's good. I think it's great. I wasn't exposed to like the bigger tournaments like early on, and I think that really stunted my growth at the beginning.
Yeah.
I kind of was like very steadily rising, and then once I got to the national level, once I went to national tournaments, even though I was getting beat up, I was just like, even though I was getting like, I was losing, whatever, getting down on myself, I was getting so much better, and like just getting beat up and then sitting down with your coaches and just them being like, well, this is what you did, this is what you did, and you can be like, oh, like if you're wrestling like a crappy kid, you're not gonna get that. Like you're not gonna be able to see, oh, like I'm leaving my arm up, or and then you're also, if you're winning, you're less likely to listen to your coaches. So I think it's great, like going to those national tournaments, getting beat up. Because I lost a lot. I did lose a lot.
Yeah.
And I still lose a lot. But it's like, that's how I learn. And that's how I get better.
Yeah.
Like, you need to lose.
That's kind of our take. Our take is definitely like, hey, get your teeth kicked in now, because the learning experiences are there when you take the losses. And I think a lot of the kids are starting to put that together, like, oh, like if I try garbage, it's not going to work. Or if I make a little mistake, we're wrestling kids at this level that like a little mistake is what it takes. Like you're getting scored on at minimum. And I think that that's huge for their development. So cool. Well, thanks.
Thanks, Dyson.
And then Mr. Sonati, whom I know pretty well. I kind of know a little bit of your backstory, but why don't you tell everyone here, like, I know kind of same kind of upbringing.
I'm also from Haymarket.
The product of Burns.
Yeah,
I don't know if we could say that.
I would say that.
Evan's a product of Evan.
I'm also from Haymarket, and I started with Haymarket Hurricanes. Dyson's dad was my first coach, actually, and that's kind of how I became closer to Dyson. And I was kind of the opposite of him. I kind of got thrown in the water like really quickly. My first year wrestling, like I went with him, and when he was just getting exposed to the national scene, my first year wrestling, they kind of put me right there with him. I went to VAC duels my first year wrestling and went 0-10. So that kind of tested my love for the sport, but I think that's a big thing, to just test how much you love to compete. It's not a matter of really how much you win. And then I also went to NHSCA my first year, where I went 1-9. So also got beat up there, but I saw progression, and that kind of made me hungrier to get better. And then after Hurricanes, I went to FCA, which is where I met Burns, and I'd always try to stay after with him and work after.
Every day.
Yeah, we've been doing that since I
Every
was
day.
like,
You always wanted more.
Just happy to.
yeah, I've been wrestling after with him since I've been in like 4th grade, so I think this sport, like what you put in is what you're going to get out of it. If you work hard and you chase more, then you're going to get more. If you just do the bare minimum that everyone else is doing, you're not going to be anything special unless you're like a freak, which I wouldn't bank on being that, because when you get to the big levels, everyone's a freak. So I think doing that made me a lot better. And then after FCA, I kind of went on to like a small room with one of my teammates, the DeCrakers. We started like a small room with a bunch of really good kids, and when we started that, honestly, I was probably one of the worst kids there, and my partner was probably one of the best kids in the country, so I was getting my teeth kicked in every day in practice, and I didn't get a takedown for like 5 months, so that kind of also tested my love for the sport. But I could take little victories home and see like what I needed to work on and just get better. And that's when me and Burns would work on stuff on our own. I've been going to his house wrestling with him since I've been in like 4th grade, and we'd always pick little things and just focus on little areas to get better, and then build off that, and always reinforcing the stuff I did good, but making sure I went back to work on the stuff that I wasn't doing as well. And I think just like perfecting your own craft and finding your love for the sport to like create new things, and that's what I did. And I also went to all the Tyrant events and stuff, and that's how I got better. And I was taking a lot of lumps early, but I started to see like small progressions throughout the years, and then by my like 8th grade year, I started to get really good, and I placed in Super 32 my 8th grade year, went 10-0 at VAC my 8th grade year. I finally started to see myself up there with all the kids I've been training with since I've been little, and kind of even out that playing field. So I think what Dyson said, like, or what you said, like, take your lumps early, but it's all about the long run, which is what Burns would always tell me, like, you're doing the right things now, it's going to pay off. Like, it might be hard now, and you might not see it right away, but just know that it's like, it's working. And then now I wrestle at Brentsville, which is very close to here, as I'm sure you guys know. And I just recently committed to West Point to wrestle for Army. And yeah, I'm hurt right now. I'm just getting back into it. I tore my LCL at Super 32, but I just got cleared to start drilling again, so I'm finally getting healthy again.
He's also ranked in the nation.
Yes, he is.
Nice to see your name on the board, right?
It is nice.
Yeah.
To see
I
all
was,
that
I was
work.
12th after Super 32, but now I'm moving down since I've kind of been inactive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Committed to Army. That's really all
Yeah.
you need to Division I wrestling. So, well, thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thanks a
For
lot.
sure.
Yeah.
That was easy.
Yeah, that was easy. Then we got the next generation.
Yeah, I didn't have to
Right
do
here.
anything. I'm glad you're feeling better. I want to trip you
Right
so
there.
bad right
What do you
now,
think?
but I don't want to damage your knee.
PJ.
Ask.
Yeah, guys, I know.